It's cool, man. That's what Zach Randolph said of his 2-year, $20 million extension with the Grizzlies. I'm Kerry Chow, joined on the phone by ESPN.com NBA writer Brian Windhorst. Brian, what do you make of the deal?
This is a huge thing for the Grizzlies, not just because they're retaining one of the league's best power forwards, but it's a stabilizing move for a franchise that's been in a little disarray since the end of the season when they lost their front office, their general manager, or effectively their general manager, Jason Levine, and Stu Lash, their head of player personnel, and then Dave Yeager, their coach, almost left to go coach the Minnesota Timberwolves. And for Zach Randolph to want to commit to staying with the organization another 3 years, it's a 2-year extension on his option that he picks up for 1 more year. And it was really a good value. It's a $20 million extension, but it's basically $36 million over 3 years, $12 million a year, similar to the contract that David West signed with the Pacers a year ago. So right in line with the market value, and definitely the guy that personifies the grit and grind mentality that is so positive and been effective in Memphis. For this guy to commit to being with the organization going into the future.
So a great stabilizing move. What does this mean for the Grizzlies' ability to make other moves? What do you expect to see from them?
Well, it does. There was a feeling that he could opt out of that contract of $16 million that he's owed this year, actually 16.5, and that he could take a reduction across the board, and that could have opened up some room for them. But he's not. He's going to just take that option year. So that's actually sort of the downside for the Grizzlies, is that he's going to sit on their books at that high number. And if they want to keep Ed Davis, who's really the biggest piece on the team that they still have from the Rudy Gay trade last year, they're really not going to have much flexibility to add other pieces. But even with that, they now, they keep part of their core intact. Mike Conley's under long-term contract. Obviously, Marc Gasol, who has 1 year left, he likes playing with Zach Randolph, and this potentially holds him down. I think that's more important than adding role players at this point.
32-year-old Randolph averaged 17.4 points and 10.1 boards last season. ESPN.com NBA writer Brian Windhorst. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
I'm Kerry Chow with your latest ESPN headline.